Welcome back, trainers, and Season 8 has begun for the Go Battle League, and with it, many changes, specifically the poison types. Now, man, what a crazy day in Go Battle League. I already know when you first start off, there's going to be people that are just picking random Pokemon, and it is going to progressively get harder and harder as we do go on. We do have a nice lengthy video, so if you can, give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. Now, we're going to be running, as you can tell, Shadow Nidoqueen. We've been talking about it with that upgraded poison jab. It is going to be going from 7 to 8 damage, so it's just one, but it makes a significant difference, and that's not the only thing. Poison Fang's new updated move, which is going to give you a guaranteed debuff on the opponent's defense by one stage, and it charges fast? Are you kidding me? There's no energy difference as far as the poison jab. It's going to be remaining the same as before, just doing one extra damage. But like we said, it does make a significant difference, especially with a Shadow Nidoqueen. Are you kidding me? This thing is absolutely amazing. So we're also going to be pairing it up with the Alolan Grimer that we did power up to, quite a high level. It is a 100% IV for whenever I do decide to evolve it and then completely max it out as an Alolan Muck. But to be honest with you, I'm thinking I just want to keep it here. This thing's put it in work for the Kanto Cup and come for the Open Great League. Could you imagine? It's putting in work, and it's doing great. And we're also going to be pairing it up with Sableye. So, yes, we're going to be kind of vulnerable to Charm once the Nidoqueen goes down, because a Alolan Grimer is still going to be taking a lot of damage from it. But I like to see, maybe two Charms, or, two Charm users will take me out for sure, seeing that they're in the back once the Nidoqueen is down. But the poison jabs are doing a lot of damage, so we have some sort of survivability there. If we do run into a double charm team, well, it's double charm, right? It's probably not even going to get showcased. All right, so let's see what we have going on here. These move updates graphics are going to be from PokeMiner, so I will leave a link down below. Go ahead and take a look at that. And I'm going to be quite honest with you right now. I wanted to do a whole video covering this and then do my battles, but with the family emergency going on that has not gotten any better, I'm really strained on time, and I really appreciate your support. I must stop for a second and say that. Thank you, everybody who has been keeping me in your prayers and just been saying kind things. I really appreciate that. You guys are amazing. And as far as not uploading a video and just taking some time off, that is totally on the table. That could happen. But the thing is, what we've learned is the internet waits for no man. The algorithm on the YouTube system, it does not have any mercy for when you do stop uploading. And what happens is you kind of get pushed down in the algorithmic view section, I suppose, for your recommendations to pop up. Just to let you know, this person gave up. I'm assuming they gave up or they were just lagging. But you have to keep up with the system, and if you don't, you get punished. That's just the way it goes. So I appreciate everybody saying the kind words and telling me and I should take some time off, but unfortunately I can't do that. We've come too far to have this channel go down the drain. And if you're thinking, well, come on, it's not that big of a deal, you could just stop for a couple of days, take a break and come back and things should be okay. Honestly, yeah, it probably would be okay. We'll probably see a little bit of a dip in everything. Okay, I don't want to get too complicated or get too deep into this, but there you go. But nonetheless, I appreciate everybody. All of you are amazing. So we're going to get into the commentary shortly here. We got a lengthy video. I just want to fill you in on what's going on here. And as far as going over the analysis of all the moves and, talking about the matchups and what's going to be better, and we'll get more into that. We're in the middle of a storm right now, and I feel like the best way to test out things is just to go in there and use them, right? There's no repercussion for losing right now, and I'm going to tell you I lost about... I'm not trying to brag because they do progressively get harder, and I was watching a few streamers that were losing at rank 1, 2, 3, which are legends every season, so yeah, to my credit there, I suppose. But nonetheless, we won a lot of games. We had 6 sets, granted, because of that trick we were talking about. Not like I invented it or anything. I'm just giving you a little heads up on how to have an extra set for the beginning of Season 8. Or for the next day or whatever. You can use it whenever. But we're killing it. It's awesome. So with that said, let's get into it. Starting off with this horrible lead with a Shadow Confusion user, Venomoth. So we're going to go ahead and swap into Grimer here. And I felt pretty happy about this team. Pretty good. Because it worked well. Sure, there's going to be things that wall me, specifically Galarian Stunfisk with those quick jab poison moves. Ooh, not very effective, and it is going to be a bit tricky. We do have Earth Power, but getting that through and connecting it can be also kind of tricky. So we're in here with the Sableye resisted from the confusion. Still going to be taking a decent, well, not really. It's not doing much at all. Let's be real. We could basically farm this thing all the way down. I do believe we may do that. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're totally going to farm down. Let this go through, absolutely. And we're going to be loaded up on energy. They're going for the Poison Fang, getting the defense debuff on the Sableye, instantly swapping as they do bring in their Azumarill. And this is what you want to see, right? This is what you wanted to see. What can a Shadow Nidoqueen do up against the Azumarill? One of the most annoying and frequently used Pokemon. No discredit to anybody who's using it. I use it all the time too. I'm just saying, Azumarill is very good. But look at this Nidoqueen putting in the dang work. Let's go. Let's stinking go. They didn't shield. Maybe they're saving the shield for here. They just figured they already lost. And that's cool that they're just staying in the battle until the end. It's a good game. But man, did you see that? This is insane. Now, let me tell you something else. If we build up to, say, the Poison Fang and they swap to catch like this, no problem. We're still lowering the defense. It doesn't matter if it's not very effective. If they're a steel type, if they're a poison type, sure, it's not going to do much damage, but you just lower their defense. They lock themselves and you can swap in and do more damage and potentially even farm them down. Do you see what's going on here? So some people think it's going to kind of die down after a while, which that could be totally the case, but it's going to stick. You know, the poison types are doing great now and they're going to be meta relevant for a while. Now, what's going to happen is, we've discussed this before. Sorry, we're stepping away from the commentary again, but we'll really get into it here in a moment. I just need to give you all my thoughts. Is going to be the rise of confusion. So you're going to have an abundance of poison. This little Grimer is really good up against confusion users, but other poison types are going to be seeing a bit of trouble. Although you do have Drapion as well, which is going to also be benefiting from some of these updates, and also part dark, so not completely taking the super effective damage from confusion. As a matter of fact, it's slightly resisted. So now we'll go ahead and get into the commentary. Wow, Tropius lead. I say, let's get it. So Nidoqueen is going to be taking quite a bit of damage from, I mean, its grass isn't necessarily super effective, but a Razor Leaf user is going to make it feel the pain. Waterfall, water moves, also ground, confusion are all going to be super effective. So you have to build a team accordingly to that, right? So anyways, they have the Deoxys. We just went with the Earth Power here, and we will be making mistakes. I mean, I'm not a computer. I can't not make any mistakes or play flawlessly because I'm a human. So we'll see those, you know, throughout the video. Letting that one go through, and we're going to go ahead and hit the foul play. All right, and we are actually able to take them out. That is amazing. Unfortunately, not able to get to the charge, and we have 2 shields, so we're not in a horrible position, but we're going to have to do a little bit of finesse here. Earthquake will obviously take us out. Rock Slide's not very effective, but at this point, they don't need to go for Rock Slide. Or, I mean, they don't need to go for Earthquake. They can go for Rock Slide because our health is so low, and we're Shadow. So we're going to go ahead and just go for the Earth Power. There's no need to bait right now. There really is no need to bait. Their quick moves are doing so little damage, I figured we need to preserve the Nidoqueen to potentially, well, at this point, I think we actually go for the Poison Fang, and it gets pretty close. But nonetheless, let's see here. Going for a Rock Slide. We're still holding on to the shield, looking good. Poison Jab's doing little to no damage, almost like it's recovering it. They finally use that last shield. Farm. They don't have 2 Rock Slides. Poison Jab will take them out after we do shield this up. We're going to be looking good. Nidoqueen taking the win up against the Galarian Stunfisk. Are you kidding? Well, that's not like too far-fetched because of Earth Power, right? You'll be seeing that quite often. Oh boy, let's go. Oh, Azumarill, what's going on, buddy? It is a new season, and you are no longer the king around here. Still pretty good, but let's go. So it does have that water quick move, which is super effective and, you know, doing some decent damage, but we're going to be able to spam them with the Poison Fang over and over again. It does a lot of damage, and more because we're lowering their defense. They're swapping into a Sableye, and we're going to go ahead and bring in a little Grimy here. And whoopsies, that return did a lot of damage. It wasn't completely unexpected. I was, you know, expecting that to happen. So now we got to figure out what we're going to do here because our Poison Jab's not very effective and the Sableye's attacks are going to go right through Nidoqueen. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the Sableye here to try to recover this. But they have a bunch of energy built up, or a decent amount from that farm. So I don't know how we're going to play this out here. And there's an Earthquake happening. I'm not joking. Huh. Okay, that's fun. We had a nice big earthquake yesterday and another one today. I'm telling you, if you go online and you look at all the earthquakes that happen in Alaska, Anchorage specifically where I'm at, they're happening like every 20 minutes, every 30, every hour. Little ones, we can't feel them. But boy, oh boy, I don't know what's going on lately with them. But anyways, we're going to go for the Poison Fang here. Don't worry, I'm not going to lose track and get off the commentary. A double KO. That's my first loss of the season. There you go. There it was. It wasn't even a loss. It was a double KO. So technically that wasn't even a real loss. Now we're really focused on the commentary. Up against a Drapion. What? Shadow? They're swapping into a Mewtwo Shadow with Confusion. Oof. Now, bringing in Sableye here was good. I mean, I could go Grimer or Sableye, but I figured Sableye because we're going to be able to farm it down with super effective damage. And they have a... what was... I always forget that little silly thing's name. Slurpuff, of course. Slurpuff. All right, so charming it up. Okay, that's fine. We're going to go ahead and bring in Nidoqueen here and Poison Jab it. That Drapion definitely needs to look out for our Earth Power. Going for the Poison Fang, lowering the defense. Oh, going for another one. Can we get 2 shields out of this Drapion here? It's another Earth Power. Oh, they didn't fall for it. We're going to go ahead and swap into our Grimer here. We kind of have to look out for Aqua Tail, I suppose, but they're going Fell Stinger. And, wow, continuing on here. And they do back out, so we're going to be able to take the win there, obviously. And we're looking good. On to our next battle, folks. I'm having a blast. You know, life happens, but I don't know. You can't... See, this is where things get a little wobbly on what I should say, and you've got to be very careful because, you know, I don't know. Life happens, guys, but if we dwell too much, it's not good for you. It's not great that loved ones pass away, but at the same time, you know, this is life. It's the circle of life. Anyways, we are up against the Machamp here, and we're just going to throw this because... And we get a shield. Get that last shield. No problem. We would have still done decent damage. We're getting to another one. Yeah, let's go. Taking out Machamp. And we have that Ninetales coming back in here. We're going to go ahead and go with the, I don't know, Nidoqueen with Earth Power. We don't really need to throw Earth Power at this point. We can go Poison Fang and then Poison Jab. But I figured they were going to swap and they have a beautiful Charm in the back. So this is a great example as to what I do. Their shields are down, so we're obviously in a good position. If they did have a shield, a little bit different, but not too horrible. And yeah, we're going to let this go, come in with Nidoqueen, and then just Poison Fang it. We can go Earth Power, but it doesn't really matter. Nidoqueen, you have no idea how ecstatic I am. You could probably tell in my voice, the way I'm talking and stuff, but my excitement is a lot more than that. I'm just very happy that they made Poison types viable. Gave them a big boost. And it really works. It's doing the job. Okay, so we're up against the Ninetales. We got super effective damage from the ice, and then super effective right back. They're swapping into a Scrafty. We're lowering that defense, staying here for just a minute to get off another one of these. As a matter of fact, I think we just stay here because Sableye's no good up against it. Grimer's okay up against it, but we have that Poison Jab that can handle the Ninetales. So why do we need a swap? I let that go through because, well, you know, just did. I didn't want to use another shield. So we're going to go ahead and go in here with Grimer and farm down. Unfortunately, not all the way. They're going to be able to throw a charge move. And it is going to be a power punch. Okay, could have been worse. Although foul plays, not very effective, but it would have done more. And they're bringing in Ninetales. Okay, that's a big red flag that there's something back there that does not want to see this. A Alolan Marowak, maybe a Hypno, who knows. So what we're going to do is swap into the Sableye so we can preserve that and our shield. As you can see, we can take that Weather Ball no problem. They're swapping as we do get this off, and it is an Azumarill. I should have said that. I should have said it, or an Azumarill. So them swapping to catch that foul play was very good. That was a very good play. All right? Anytime somebody does that, it's very good. Anyways, we're going to let that Ice Beam go through. A little crazy, right? I figured this is what we're going to do. Poison Jab it. They can't shield it. We have a shield left for that Weather Ball they may have. Or we can just Poison Jab down and take the win. Beautiful. Looking good. There you go. Poison team is putting in the work, folks. Let's go. Okay, so this Altaria lead, let's talk about it. We could potentially have Stone Edge, so that's a big threat for them. That'll do a lot of damage. We're going to go for the Poison Fang. We're getting a shield. All right. Lowering the defense. We're about at half health. We're going to go ahead and match him a shield. Let's do it. They're retreating because it would have been really starting to catch up, and yes, Nidoqueen could potentially win that matchup. So they're swapping into Toxicroak. We are getting off the Poison Fang. I know it's not very effective. Still doing decent damage. Lowering their defense, and that's why we used it, right? Swapping into our Sableye, and we're going to go ahead and farm down here. And that is just beautiful. We have just about 2 foul plays ready to go. Can it get any better than this? And in comes that Altaria. We're going to go ahead and spam it with them. We could go return, but they're going to probably shield. And there it is. And I'm not even going to try to get to the return here. We're just going to go ahead and throw the foul play. I mean, probably would have been a better idea to get to the return, honestly. But what we can do is, they're going to instantly swap and bring in a Venusaur, which is going to be doing neutral damage with the grass moves. Obviously, Frenzy Plant's still devastating, but the quick move is nothing to worry about. We're going to go ahead and go with the Earth Power, which is neutral damage here. And bingo bango, taking out the Venusaur, swapping into our Grimer, and we take out that Altaria. Let's go. Poison Jab for the win, folks. Gosh, this is awesome. Let's get it. We're met with a Medicham, and this is an interesting matchup. Now, you don't really need... Oh, never mind. Ice Punch is a threat. Psychic is a threat. Obviously, the quick move is not too much, and Power Punch is really not either. But you need to look out for that Ice Punch, especially after they did get off a Power Punch. And it's going without saying, Psychic is going to just basically one-shot you, so you need to look out for that too. So there goes the Ice Punch. They're retreating into an Azumarill. Oh boy, I love this. Bring on the Azumarills. Are you kidding me? I'm so sorry, Shadow Mall. Wow, your play will come in. Actually, wow, I completely forgot about that. We'll talk about that in the next video or two, or see what happens in our next sets. Anyways, we're poison jabbing down that Azumarill, loaded up on some energy, and they have no shields left. They're bringing in that Medicham. We're going to go ahead and go for the Sludge Bomb here. And we're going to KO that. Nice. They have an Umbreon in the back. And, this is okay. We're not really going to have to use too much finesse here. We're resisting the dark moves, the quick moves specifically. And I feel like they're going to go for a foul play here as a potential bait. And there it is. Maybe they thought it would be enough, and it's not enough. So we're going to go ahead and go for another Sludge Bomb here. Little old Grimy. Put it in that work still. Absolutely a great investment. Should you invest in a Alolan Grimer and power it up XL like this? Honestly, like I said before, actually, no. Let's give you an update. Yeah, it's worth it. Do you want to just go ahead and pour your resources in? No, only if you have stuff that you could spare. Because there's going to be other things you can use, like, I don't know. Alolan Muck itself. But it's not going to be as expensive. You got to figure out a little trick to get it in there, though, regarding the CP. But otherwise, yeah. I'm loving it. It's great. So we're up against a Sableye here. We're going to go ahead and throw the Poison... Or Sableye, a Scrafty here. Now, this thing can be annoying for my team as well. Sableye's Ghost, quick move, and then Foul Play, not very effective. We'd have to get to the return. Grimer is putting in some work. But yeah, so they're bringing in Altaria. We're going to go ahead and go for the, obviously, Poison Fang because Earth Power is not very effective, and we're just going to get more benefits from doing so. They're going to farm us down here, but we're still holding on to 2 shields. So we're going to be able to make some magic happen. No problem. Obviously, we're going to be shielding these up with the Sableye. And throwing the fur... Building up more? Okay. Building up a little bit extra energy here. And this will be KO the Altaria. Oh boy, let's go. And they had that Galarian Stunfisk in the back. Now this is, like we said in the beginning, problematic for this team. Galarian Stunfisk is an issue. I'm still trying to figure out what I can do. We don't want to throw on a fighter because we're going to have 2 Pokemon weak to confusion. That's going to be the Nidoqueen and then that fighter. Although, we could go with Scrafty. So we'd have the Scrafty extremely weak to Charm. Then we'd have the Grimer somewhat weak to Charm. And then you'd have the Nidoqueen completely resisting the Charm. But Shadow, still taking a decent amount. But with your Shadow Poison Jab and upgraded Poison Jab up against a Fairy type, I mean... They're going to swap. They're not going to stay in there. There's no way. Anyways, the next battle we're met with an Obstagoon here. Fine by me. Fine by me. Sure, that's going to do a good amount of damage. Counter, no stab, and it's resisted. So we're going to go ahead and go for that Poison Fang, lowering their defense, and Poison Jab just starts accumulating like crazy fast, as you can see here. Going for another one, and we're getting another shield out of them. We're going to go ahead and shield up our Nidoqueen now. We should be able to Poison Jab down, unless they swap into a Mewtwo trying to do as much damage to our Shadow Nidoqueen. We've seen that before. Swapping into old Grimy here. We do shield up Side Strike because Side Strike from a Shadow Mewtwo is stupid. And when I say that, I mean it's very strong. It doesn't matter if you resist it, it's still gonna hurt you. So we shielded that up, preserve our health, shieldless at this point, but holding on to a bunch of energy, farming down the Obstagoon. They must have something back there weak to us, and it is a Togekiss. All right, let's go, Fairy. Bring it on. Say hello to my Sludge Bomb and almost get one shot or one more Poison Jab, and we take that win with our Poison types. And we got this. Let's go. All right, let's see what we're looking at here. We're able to reach rank, was it 8? I'm pretty sure we got to 8 today because we just, we're on a roll. And like I said, the battles are going to progressively get more difficult as we are encountering more people who are more into Go Battle League. We'll put it that way, right? So let's go ahead and continue on, folks. We're up against a rank 6, and we're rank 5, and we're met with a beautiful lead. It does have powdered snow, so it could, be a little bit troublesome, but as you can see, the poison jab is going to be outpacing it. And we're not falling far behind as far as the charge moves are going to be concerned, because we got the CMP, we're lowering their defense, and now we're going to easily win this matchup. At the expense of 2 shields, unfortunately. Now, what do? Shield up and farm down? Okay, they've used a shield, so having 1 shield less than them is not the worst situation. We're going to go ahead and go Poison Jab here. Poison Fang. Sorry, guys. You already know. My head is all over the place right now, so if I keep miscalling or missaying names or moves, please forgive me. Sableye versus Sableye. Now, it really depends on what they have in the back, technically. It's not looking too good. We do have the Poison Jabbers to take care of that Ninetales. But let's see what we have. This person definitely was a prior legend before. You can see that cap they're wearing. Oh, and talking about caps, the new clothes they have for the Reggie theme going on are super fresh, actually. They look very nice. They just need to fix them, and when you match it up with certain shoes, with the pants, why does it glitch? Anyways, we're taking out that thing, and they have a Politoed back there. We're throwing in the Nidoqueen to just absorb this damage. Sounds good, and we're going to go ahead and go for the Sludge Bomb and take the win here, and we're looking good. That's definitely not necessary to go for the Sludge Bomb. We could have went for Crunch there because it was Shadow. Nonetheless, good game. Moving on to our next opponent. We're met with a Shiftry here. This is great. Sure, I'm not afraid of that grass. I don't even care. They're swapping into the Alolan Marowak. We're going to go ahead and bring in our Sableye, and everything is falling into place just perfectly for us here. Going to go ahead and let that Shadow Bone go through, no problem. And I'm definitely not going to farm down. I was trying to build the illusion as if we had 2 foul plays. But if they're really good at counting, they already know we didn't. They just simply let it go down. Bringing in the Shiftry to farm us down, which is actually a good play. So they definitely didn't care whether or not I took down their Alolan Marowak. They had a plan in mind here. But we have 2 poisons, so I also have a plan in mind. And that is going to go ahead and bring in Grimer so we don't take that much damage for the Leaf Blade, because Nidoqueen is part ground. So this is just going to be resisted straight up. All of the moves from the Shiftry are. So this is good, but it's slowly adding up because Shiftry is very strong on its attacks, right? So I think maybe shield this. Oh, this is when I screwed up. Lovely. Okay, and they have a Hypno. Okay, see that? So I had 2 shields and I didn't shield. And I was thinking to myself, as soon as that last charge move went through on that last Pokemon that they were using, I knew that there was going to be a confusion user back here. So we got to do our best. Nidoqueen's holding it down, and oh my goodness, that was so close. And we didn't even use a shield, and we still almost beat them. Good game, and you can't win them all. Sometimes you mess up and you just don't shield. Met with an Azumarill for our next match, and can it get any better? It can, but I love this one here because Azumarill has fallen from grace. Let's go. So we're going to go for that Poison Fang, lowering their defense, and the Poison Jab is just going to accumulate even more and more. Now, what people are doing is letting the first Poison Jab go through and then swapping, which puts you at a shield disadvantage if you're using the Shadow Nidoqueen, because you have to shield up that Ice Beam, but you'll figure it out, hopefully, if you built a good team and you didn't get really messed over by the algorithm. Okay, yes, there is one. All right, so we're taking them down with Shadow Claw, and they're bringing in their Azumarill, of course. Definitely can't bubble us down. We're just going to go for the foul play. There's no need to go for the return here. Just doing chip damage, letting it go down. Beautiful. In comes a Toxicroak, and, well, we're resisting, well, kind of resisting the counter. It's like a neutral because of the dark typing. So we're going to get their, well, they didn't shield up. Swapping into Grimer here. And what I figured I'm going to do is let this go through, come back in with Sableye, and just put in work. And hopefully we'll be able to take care of business. Getting a shield? Oh, beautiful. That's what we needed right there. If they didn't shield that up, it would have put them a little bit lower, obviously, but we could have still won because we still have a whole Nidoqueen over here. Going for the Poison Fang to lower their defense. They're going to get this off. I do believe I just let it go because we're just going to bring in the Sableye and Shadow Claw for the win while holding on to 1 shield still. You gotta love this Team Poison Jab. It is absolutely amazing. So for our next battle, we're met with a Toxicroak. This is not good. Yeah, we got Earth Power, but they got Mud Bomb, which will one-shot us here at this health range, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to go ahead and shield it up. And we can also threaten them with a 1-hit KO as well. So we're just going to go ahead and go with the Poison Jab. And we're getting their shield and lowering their defense, in which we're going to go ahead and bring in the Sableye here to start farming up. And with that lower defense, so obviously we're doing more damage with our quick move here. Letting that Mud Bomb go through, they're going to be swapping into a Bastiodon. And let's go ahead and talk about it now that it's here. Bastiodon is also a bit of trouble for this team. Again, we do have that Earth Power Nidoqueen, but with the shields, circumstantial situations, it could be a little bit of trouble. As you can see here, Sableye, it struggles a bit to go up against Bastiodon. Many things do, as Bastiodon is a very tanky Pokemon. So bringing in the Grimer, and they're hitting me with a Stone Edge. Now, obviously, we're going to be going for the Crunch here, building up a little bit of extra energy. Nidoqueen's still holding on in the back, and they're letting it go through. They swap. They are still alive. We're instantly going in with our Nidoqueen and going for the Poison Fang on their Toxicroak, and then taking them out with Poison Jab. Come get some. In comes the Bastiodon, and I do believe we just shield this up because we want to win the Shadow Nidoqueen. And that's a massively resisted Pokemon to poison because of the Steel and the Rock. So they have an Azumarill back there. Whoa, boy. Let's go, Poison. Let's get it clutch. We're not going to be able to get to another one of these. Oh, are we? What? There's no way. You would have thought they had an Ice Beam by now. Maybe they're just building up. Oh, they're farming down. But they didn't realize. They don't respect the Poison Jab after debuff. All right, so I do have about 8 more minutes of battles for you folks. So let's see what we have going on here. And Pidgeot, let's talk about that. Feather Dance is going to be pretty insane. It's going to have a 2-stage debuff and a very low energy requirement. Is that OP? Maybe sometimes. But for this open, it's just got a little bit of edge now. It's got a bit of edge. I wouldn't call it OP because you got Poison Fang, which is guaranteed as well. And that Feather Dance is guaranteed. 2-stage. Every time. Low energy. Absolutely insane. But I'm not too concerned about it because it's an all-flying Pokemon and you can wall the hell out of that thing. Anyways, we're up against a Wobbuffet and it put a smile on my face. I wanted to farm it all the way down, to be honest. But I didn't want to get hit by another charge move. Not that it's too worrisome, to be honest. So we're going to go ahead and take out that Wobbuffet. They're bringing back the Pidgeot. We're just going to go ahead and throw this here. That's a good move because they're resisting the quick move. They can, basically we're going to have to get to a charge move to take them out at this point. So going for another one here. And they're double shielding that Pidgeot. So I have to instantly swap before they farm too much here. Don't want that thing to get out of control. We don't have a rock type over here or a steel. And they're taking us out with the new move. Very nice. Bringing back the, well, not bringing back the Grimer, bringing in the Grimer for the first time. And they have a Medicham back here. And GG's. We got 2 shields. There's nothing they can do. They can't build up to 3 Psychics. And they can't get to a Power Punch and 2 Ice Punches. So we have basically won this here. So there's a power-up punch bait. Figured that's what was going to happen. But they are sticking it out to the very end. So good. Good for them and good game. Yeah, that's right. Thank you for the battle. On to our next opponent. Let's see what we're going to be met with. And it is going to be a Hypno. Bad lead. Horrible lead. Retreat immediately. And this is why we have Grimer and Sableye. And here we go with the Scrafty. Another very Pokemon that is going to give us some trouble. For sure. So we're going to go ahead and go for that Sludge Bomb. Neutral damage if they let it go through. Great. All right. Nice. Poison Jabs are doing some good damage here. Keeping up. Should have probably shielded up this power-up punch because it's going to be the destruction of me here. We could have came out with a win there if we in the energy if we shielded it up. But you know what we say. You could always change the outcome and be better if you look back at the battles you've done. I mean, come on. And I'm all for that, for sure. Look back and see what you did wrong to correct yourself next time, potentially. But it was when people are like, well, if I would have done this, then they wouldn't have won. Like, with an attitude, like, snobby. You know exactly what I mean, right? So, anyways, getting into this battle, we are 1-to-1 shield. And we have, I knew that we're going to do this. All right, we got a game plan. The Nidoqueen's taking a lot of damage, but it can hold its own here for a minute. And we're really putting on the damage to that Hypno as well. Let's go. Let's get it. Going for another one of these Poison Fangs. They are just letting it go through, holding onto the shield, double KO. Now here is where we're going to win because we have an energy advantage. So that's simple as that. Simple as that. We're going to be able to spam these a lot faster. There's another one here, and they'll shield this up, and then we'll farm down. Now, when they got off their Sky Attack here, I was thinking to myself, there's no way that they have to. But if they do, and there's some lag somewhere, that's going to be so annoying, and we're able to take the win, looking good. All right. I really enjoy when people stay the whole battle. Yeah, it's fine. So we're met with a Talonflame. First one of the season here. And it didn't make me sweat too much. I was just thinking, this is a little interesting. Better be careful. But we're still going to be hitting it pretty hard right back. Getting a shield out of them. And we're definitely going to be shielding this up too. It is a Flame Charge. They're retreating into a Venusaur. We're going to go ahead and lower that defense. And then swap into Grimer. So we're not taking, more damage. We could take a Frenzy Plant. We could take a Sludge Bomb. Basically, with Nidoqueen, we can't take a Frenzy Plant. not comfortably, but with Grimer we can, as you can see here. 2 of them are going to put us into death range, of course, but we're going to go ahead and farm down and use our last shield while holding on to a bunch of energy here. Going to go instantly for the crunch. And what do we... Okay, Galvantula. We're going to be able to get to a Sludge Bomb here, and this should... I think this may KO it. If it doesn't, we're going to swap it to our Nidoqueen to take it out. Hey, let's go. Poison Jab. Team Poison Jab. All right, building up to the Poison Fang and lowering the defense on that Talonflame. We're going to be able to take it out. Looking good. Just taking the wins one after another with Team Poison. Let's go. All right, so we are going to be encountering our Mienfoo, and this is awesome. I've been waiting for this Pokemon for a long time. If you're a long-time watcher of me, we've been waiting, hoping it gets a good moveset. Did it get a good moveset? No, not really. It has Poison Jab. That's going to be interesting. So this is not something you're going to want to use as a raid fighter attacker, unfortunately. Maybe it'll get a move update in the future because, yeah, its evolution is pretty awesome. I used it in the main series games. Extremely glassy, but it hits hard as heck. So we're going up against my buddy here. Shout out to you, my man. He is on my friends list. And I didn't realize it at first until after it showed the like hearts. I was like, oh, that was a friend of mine. Sorry, sometimes I'm just, walking around or I'm looking at Athena or talking to Athena or whatever I'm doing before the battle starts and I don't see the actual name. So yeah, anyway, up against the Galarian Stunfisk, that is the problem. Man, this thing is really, I'm gonna figure, I'm telling you, Scrafty, I think Scrafty is what we're gonna have to do here. Nidoqueen, Galarian, Grimer, and Scrafty. Sounds pretty fun, right? Charm loves to eat it up, but yeah, we'll make do. People are, should be scared to use Charm now. It's going to be out there, but it's going to get destroyed. Absolutely demolished if they run into a Poison team. Or a Poison Jabber. So we're going for the Poison Jab. They didn't bait. Man, are you kidding me? That's called like... got some steel ones over there. So we're going to go ahead and shield this up. At this point, I knew I was going to lose. I just entertained the fact to try to pull it off to see. And once I seen the Sableye and they had 2 shields, like, it's GG's. But I'll stick it out here and see what we have going on. And yeah, that's a pretty self-explanatory battle here. So if you want to use this team, say you don't have an XL Sableye, can you still do it? I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah, it's gonna make it a little bit better. My XL Sableye, honestly, is just, it's horrible regarding the IVs that you would want to have to power up an XL. You want lower attack and it has max attack. It's like a 96% Sableye, so you don't want to do that, although it's not horrible. So they're taking the win, beating me there. Good game. Galarian Stunfisk is a big issue. Man, here we go. We'll have to figure it out. We'll do it later on. So we're going to be met with a Shiftry again. Oh, we love to see this here. So we are going to stay. We will shield because this will hurt. And they're going to shield right back unless they swap to catch. And there it goes. It is going to be a Marowak. We're going to go ahead and go Poison Fang. We get a shield, lowering the defense, bringing in Sableye, now doing even more damage with our Shadow Claw. We're going to let this Shadow Bone, go through, no problem, doing some decent damage. Now, I figured that they would shield this and farm us down, but that's not, they have other plans here. They don't want to be completely shieldless. We're going to see that same kind of thing like before, where they let it go through and then they bring in the Shiftry and try to farm us down. Shielding it up. Yeah, they're farming us because if that thing gains a bunch of energy like that, that Shiftry is loaded up and it hits hard. We're going to bring in Grimer to kind of ruin their day here because everything's not very effective. And they have an Azumarill back there. So we're just going to go ahead and bring in the Queen and take control. Poison Fang it up. Poison Jab, Poison Jab, Poison Jab. Take the win. We're looking good. I'm having a blast. This is really fun. So if you did enjoy my video, folks, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out. And I hope all of you out there are having a great time. Thank you for watching, trainers, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.
It's out of my hand, but I'm still in control. It's out of my hand. You can never take away the power of my goal.
So you're finally here! Fantastic!